what I think I personally and we as a casting community have to figure out better is how to give notes and set expectations before actors self-tape.
Hey, thank you so much for watching the channel. I appreciate all your support. If you like this video, please hit the like button below. And if you like the series, hit that subscribe button so you can stay tuned for future episodes and never miss out on an episode and catch up on the ones that you might have missed from before. But most importantly, please, if there are any questions you guys have, because I am running out of questions, if you have any questions that you want to ask or any follow-up questions or anything you want clarity on, I will have the guests back on if you want. Or if there are other offices you want to see, let me know. Leave them in the comments below. I'll respond to every comment and I'll make sure to get future guests in. I'm wrapping up the season, a few more episodes for you guys, and then I'm gonna start doing Zoom interviews for the next season with a bunch more guests that I have lined up. So you guys can look forward to that. And in the meantime, please let me know if there's anything else you want to hear and see. I hope you guys enjoy this next episode. I have a great guest for you guys. Thank you so much. Be safe, stay safe. Love you all. Here we go. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Casting Corner. I have a lovely guest for you guys today.
Hi there, I'm Rachel Imbriglio.
So, thank you for coming on the show.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Rachel and I met like over a year ago. We were working at the same office for like a beat.
Yes.
Really quickly, tell me about yourself. Where you're from, how you got into casting, kind of where you've worked and what you've worked on, and where you're now and what you're doing now.
I grew up in Connecticut. I'm a Northeast girl, so Connecticut and Boston for a good part of my childhood. I went to film school and then ended up coming out here to finish film school. I interned at Coden actually and got to work a little bit on the talent research side, which was a lot of fun, but really missed engaging with specific projects and audiences and things like that. So I returned to first a year of talent management and then jumped into casting, which was a lot of fun.
Where did you work in talent management?
I worked for a lovely human named Kyle Fritz, who reps a lot of Star Trek actors and a lot of other folks as well. Yes, so he reps Jerry Ryan, Jonathan Del Arco. He has such a great eye for talent that it was really good to get to know actors on that level. That's where I really realized the parts of talent management that I like was casting. So I switched over a little late in my career to casting assistant. Started with Donna Rosenstein, who is now at Amazon.
Yes.
I did the last season of Castle as a casting assistant.
Oh, what?
And
Was
then
season
kind
7?
of eight. And then jumped around a bit until I landed for a few years working on kids shows with Sid and Marty Krofft, which was a very different casting experience. Also gave me time to work on some of my own projects on my own. And now I've kind of landed with higher TV projects, which is what I really enjoy, working this season of 911.
And you worked on commercials too for a little bit.
Oh yes, I also did, of course, my time with Lisa Fields, where I got to do indie movies, streaming projects, and commercials. Kind of run the whole gamut outside of casting for theater. So everything but casting for theater is something I've done.
Are you going to try casting for theater at some point?
You know,
who knows?
I wouldn't put it past me. It's such a different world, but I have such respect for theater actors, and I think that the talent there is amazing. I would love to try it.
Currently, so you're at UDK.
I'm at UDK.
Because that's a huge office.
It's a big office.
There's a lot
yes.
of, there's like a bunch of casting directors. Yeah.
It's always busy. It's always something to do. And my main show, which is 911, is extra busy. It's a lot of fun.
Each CD kind of has like their joint projects kind of thing.
Yes, absolutely. You know, we're all friends, we're all nice, so we share ideas and sometimes we'll pitch in to help out, but for the most part, you're very tuned in onto your show. That's not to say I don't interact with all the other people every day, but really I don't know what's going on any projects outside of whatever I'm casting.
Right. Do you guys have like parties? UDK parties?
Well, not that intensely, actually. Yeah. We will be friendly around the office. We might go out briefly afterwards, but it's nothing insane. We're all exhausted.
Right.
We all have our own lives as well, which is nice because it's an office where you can really balance work life.
Who's your CD?
The Dawsons. Both Eric Dawson and Sean Dawson. Mm-hmm.
And they do 911 and
Horror Story? Sean just does 911 and Eric does both 911 and Horror story.
So let's talk about 911 for a sec. Tell me a little bit about the show. What's the process like with that show and the team and everything?
It's a beast.
Okay. Yeah. It's an LA-based show?
It's an LA-based show. Of course, they do have 911 Lone Star as well, which our office does not cast.
That's Eric Soulier.
Yes, exactly.
But he was a former
He
UDK.
used to work at UDK, and now he's doing 911 Lone Star on his own. 911 proper is an LA-based show. It's a beast. I knew it going in, but I'm really excited. It's given me the opportunity to see a large span and a really huge variety of actors who are here in Los Angeles, which you get with commercials, but you don't get enough time with them. And now I've had a lot. Now I've had a lot of one-on-one time with just every type of actor in Los Angeles, which has been a lot of fun. Just I'm not sure if you've seen the show, but
we'll cut that. I have seen the show. I love the show. Wait, I have seen the show.
Yes.
Oh, because I've auditioned for the show.
Yes,
oh my God,
there you go.
That's right.
Yes.
I did watch an episode or two.
Oh, good. Good for you. Very important to watch an episode or two.
You should watch an episode before you go in.
Every time I watch, I'm very impressed with what ends up on the screen. It might be a mad dash, but it's a beautiful mad dash. It's fun to do, and the quality is there. I've ended up getting a lot of the younger roles and kind of specializing with the kids since I worked with kids shows for almost 2 years.
How often do you bring people back that you know?
A fair amount, actually, just because so many of our roles, our smaller roles, are so similar that if you're getting high on that selects link that we're sending to producers, we want to give you that chance again. And we've cast people who have come in 3 or 4 times and then finally they get it, and sometimes it's just about, it's so hard, but it's so little about your actual performance once you're in the room. It's about who else is in the scene and what is the look that they want here. I learned that in Castle, especially because we're casting against really tall people, and it was literally just height. We needed someone taller. It becomes,
that's so interesting to hear.
So that chance the first time around, well, you were good, but you didn't meet criteria for X, Y, or Z, or for our stunt, or for something like that, means that sometimes we can just kind of push you into that role, and you'll be the perfect person for it 3 episodes down.
You wait a little bit before, like you don't want to oversaturate them with the same people.
Yeah, unless I really feel like they're gonna get this next role, or they're exactly that. We usually try to do 2 episodes between getting them in. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What next? What else?
Working on 911 or a show like 911 is so fun because of the inclusivity, outside the box ideas and ways of casting. That's been a real treat as well, to kind of reach out to underrepresented communities and getting to bring them onto set. We, by nature, are more than welcome to bring in people whenever we think that the story could fit it.
Because you guys are going so quick, but if you want to find somebody like out of the box type of person for a role, how do you manage, like if they're not submitted, like how are you reaching out?
Sure, it's been, and that's something that I've been enjoying doing. It's about building relationships and getting out into the community. And I don't mean just like walk around Los Angeles, but I suppose
Hello,
you could.
hi, are you an actor?
It might take longer than the time I have, but knowing there are specific diversity agents that are focused on things like this. I love Gail Williams. And there's also Facebook groups, and then just reaching out to different even theaters in the area and just seeing who has what. And it's been really good to kind of be in that community directly, get direct submissions, and kind of use that to fuel a more honest discussion of what's going on and what's being portrayed.
And also because you guys go so fast, is it just all through breakdown? Because like people will probably email pitch a lot too, right? Yeah. Is it just like you gotta get it?
I'll look at email pitches, but truthfully, when they're not on breakdowns, they're sometimes gonna get missed because after a breakdown goes out, we get a couple hundred emails,
so many emails,
as well as everyone on my team, and calls, of course, is really good about going through all of the submissions. So like we really are seeing every face. It's time consuming, but it's also, I think, the most fair way to do it. What I'm missing is the emails of people that aren't being submitted as well.
If people like get an audition but can't come in because it's like the next day,
Yeah.
do you let them self-tape?
Typically, it doesn't always work for some of our roles. Yeah, because they have to get in so quickly. We're always happy to take a self-tape. What I think I personally and we as a casting community have to figure out better is how to give notes and set expectations before actors self-tape, because I think that a lot of times we'll see people that I know could have gotten it if they had come in the room kind of fall a bit because they didn't have specific notes or they didn't understand the tone or the style or whatever else.
And it's too quick to like give them notes and retake.
Yeah.
In the room, what makes someone stand out for you personally?
I think for me, seeing someone who walks confidently into the room tells me how it's going to go, I think. But most of the time, good eye lines are a really big deal for me. Expressive faces, actors who aren't necessarily models, people who have maybe comedy background or some sort of just training and listening and reacting. Just the expressiveness of their audition goes a long way, I think. And can listen and take a note. So both listening as in not stepping on my lines as we're going back and forth and talking, and then can adjust things with any note given. It's nice to see that someone can change things and kind of go in a different direction.
Take direction. When you're going through breakdowns, like what makes somebody kind of stand out for you? And are you going through just like headshots, or are you looking at the resume, are you looking at the reel? I
am meticulous, so I tend to look at everything. But it is certain looks for certain types. There is a certain doctor and nurse look of like that more kind, nurturing person versus a cop who's a little more tough and stiff versus a family member where I'm trying to match a bunch of people. There's a variety of options, but I would say people I tend to select because I either have recognized a credit of theirs, so I know I've seen them before do something somewhat in the same vein, or their reel has showed me something that would make me think that they could do it in the room.
Yeah.
The picture obviously is the first look. It's just how it is, and also just how the breakdown is site is set up. I tend to go into reels whenever they have them, and also take a look at that resume. We're looking at special skills sometimes, something kind of unique, and then I'm really scanning, which takes forever, by the way. Scanning special skills. 1,000 people like that. It's pretty exhausting. But I would say the thing that you don't see the most is reels that are relevant. The things that are turn-offs when I look at the reels, they've literally recorded their cell phone, from on the TV or a computer, and I can't really see what's going on. I'm all for posting a strong audition on there, but typically when it's all just auditions, I'm not seeing how they're interacting with other people, and that becomes a problem in smaller roles especially, but sometimes larger roles, interacting with some of our leads. It's unfortunate, but I've gotten to the point that because it's so easy to have quality video, when it's a really kind of poorly done reel with kind of bad quality material, I'm less inclined to take what they're doing seriously.
What about if somebody only has comedy stuff, but it's for a drama?
Sometimes I want to know they can do, because I don't want to set someone up for failure to come in. And that's kind of how I started looking at auditions, is me giving this person an audition, giving them a chance to do work they can do. So if it's all comedy all the time, I gotta wonder, are they gonna be able to do that? And for a smaller role, you can probably be a cop or a nurse or whatever else, but sometimes for the more serious or more horror stuff or something like that, I think that you do need to see a theater credit on there or something else that tells you, oh, they've done serious work as well.
Trying to go from drama to comedy?
Sure. I mean, I unfortunately am not a comedy casting person, so I can't really tell you that. But I will say the thing about comedy that's cool is that the world is a little smaller. So once you kind of make a way in there, and also sometimes for the comedy, it's about knowing the writers. It's about knowing a writer or a producer or someone on there, because they're
writers will be can we bring in these people?
Shows I've been around that are comedies, and it's been more, not favor hires because they're great ideas, but more like they're already bringing their world to the script. So they're coming in with like, well, we gotta have this person for this role, we gotta know this. So it's about being involved in the community.
Gotta put a little comedy into this, guys, right? Bringing people in for a co-star versus a guest star versus like a recurring versus when you see series regulars.
Sure.
Is it about the credits for a co-star? I'm sure you're more open to people that maybe don't have as many credits or like a couple co-star credits, but is there like making that jump from co-star to guest star, maybe somebody you've seen before for co-star things? Like when do you let, because some offices are like, this is a co-star actor, this is a guest star actor.
We don't really delineate between co-star and guest star actor per se. I mean, obviously someone with tons and tons of credits isn't going to come in for a co-star, and sometimes.
But they probably wouldn't be submitted either.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Like, let's say X actor is submitted for both a guest star and a co-star role, and has a certain number of credits. I mean, I guess it's more about their fitting the role. But if the roles are pretty similar, like it's like let's say it's a cop role that you have two cop roles, and one is a guest star and one is a co-star for the same episode. What would make you pick somebody for one versus the other?
I think it would be very rare that we would have both where two people fit in the same category. I think in general, with guest stars, I am picking people with a little bit more credits. People who can really hold their own in the room.
I know this, but just for our viewers, a one-day guest star versus a guest star.
Our one-day guest star it's a different rate, and one-day guest stars, they're literally there just for that one day. Other guest stars, a top-of-show guest star, where they're being paid for all of the days.
Yeah, even if they're not working all of the week. How do you feel personally? As you know, every office is different. Every person is different. It's all subjective to the person in the office. So this is not a blanket statement. How do you feel about people, like actors, reaching out to you via social media drop-offs, emailing you, submitting self-tapes if they got the sides, like unsolicited self-tapes or things like that?
The unsolicited self-tapes get tricky with the projects I'm on just because they're supposed to be more NDA and secret. That being said, I'm not like pissed at the actor. I'm just concerned, like we just can't do that much. American Horror Story, for example, you cannot. You have to sign an NDA before we can even watch your tape. And I think some of our other projects in the office are like that as well because there's a lot of secrets.
Some projects are super secretive. They don't give you the sides. They don't give you the scripts. Sometimes it's dummy sides. It's good to know if you're going on a super secret project that maybe the sides aren't actually what's going on. That you can say, right?
That's
like, but they don't even know, they're not even getting half of the info.
So unsolicited self-tapes get a little tricky. I am fine with people reaching out on social media or emailing. I hate postcards.
Okay.
I hate them. I think as a crazy environmentalist, I probably hate them more than like the majority of our office, but I also hate them because I think nobody sees them, and you guys are dumping time and money and whatever else into sending these things that don't really. I look at them because I'm a guilty ex-Catholic. Like I want to see their faces and like recognize, okay, this person put effort into this, but it's the same people sending us postcards over and over. I'm not more aware of them after the second or third postcard. It's got to be killing their wallet. It's killing the environment, and it's not gonna make me more or less likely to click on their face and get them to come into the room.
So what could they be doing?
Social media is good. I don't mind an email. I might not respond to it, but I am seeing it 9 times out of 10, unless you have some weird email that it goes into a junk box. I think thank you notes. I do think something personalized works. We have actors who have stopped by the office with thank yous. We have actors, I've gotten thank you notes just for auditions. I think things like that are personalized and just not like mass mailed really makes a difference, and also says to myself as well as other casting people, they're thoughtful and are caring about the longevity of career and what they're doing. And it's nice just to have that kind of personal touch of a thank you. For the Christmas episode this year, the little girl who maybe had like 2 lights drew us like a picture and sent it, and that was a really kind of treasured touch.
Good job, little girl.
Yeah, no, she's great. So I think it's things like that. It's connecting with us on a more real level. I think pulling out postcard, LinkedIn requests. I have not signed into LinkedIn for years, and I get requests all the time.
No.
Do not add me on
I don't know
LinkedIn.
why.
I should
My
probably
LinkedIn.
figure out how to delete my account. Things like that are a little more questionable. It's not going to
Yeah.
help you in your career.
Drop-offs are okay.
You can do drop-offs. I hate encouraging actors to spend money, but drop-offs aren't necessarily a bad thing. You can
Right.
drop your headshots, but I would say I don't really look at those. I know that some of the casting people in our office do, because we have like a box
Yeah.
outside where you can drop.
What about like being invited to shows?
I love going to shows, so I really prefer like an invite for a show, or have your agent reach out and invite to a show. Sometimes I take those more seriously because I have established relationships with agents. I get invited to a lot of shows and a lot of my friends' shows, so I can't go to all of them, but I do think that is the best way for casting people to see what you can do. Because truth be told, I even have co-stars that I like that come in the room that I know I'm not seeing their full potential because they're coming in for 2 lines and then they're out.